Hello, I'm Caroline McGuire and a guest host on Attention Talk Video, and I am here today with Brendan Mahan, who is a teacher and guidance counselor, and he is someone who actually has a lot of insight into what teachers can do with learning styles. Now, Brendan, you said something to me that I thought was pretty revolutionary, which was that teachers learn all about learning and processing styles, but they don't necessarily let the kids know about it.
Right, yeah. It's one of those things that we, going through grad school, going through undergrad, you learn all about the different learning styles and how important they are. And sometimes, not always, because there's certainly teachers who do this. My sister's one of them. But sometimes that information doesn't get to the students. It doesn't get provided to them in a direct way. And that sort of makes it harder, because if the kids don't know how they learn, that they're kinesthetic or verbal or auditory or visual, if they don't know that that's the best way for them to learn, they're not going to focus on that to take the information in, and it just makes everything a lot harder for them. So it's better to give them some sort of a quiz, or at least a lesson around what these different learning styles are, help them figure out which one that applies to them most strongly, and then explain to them that just because you're, say, a kinesthetic learner, it doesn't mean you don't learn visually and auditorily, because you have a right and a left hand and you're better with one, but you still use the other. So there's still other ways that you can learn, but there's one that you're strongest at, and kids need to know about it.
So you had some what I call wacky ways to learn, and you had some things that you would recommend. So just give us a couple of the fun ones. You mentioned some.
Sure. One is, and this is for studying at home, if you've got a kid who's struggling with vocabulary, say, bring them outside. Let them play basketball, shoot hoops. Maybe play frisbee with them, where you're not running around much. You're just tossing it back and forth and asking questions as you go. A friend of mine actually would throw things into the pool, and her daughter would jump in and swim to the flashcards and be able to use them that way. Obviously, more of a summer activity. But so those are good for kinesthetic learners. For auditory learners, it can be as simple as just recording what it is that you're trying to learn. Like go through those multiplication problems and record them on a tape deck, or showing my age, or on your computer, and play them back so you can hear them, and finding the rhythm of it, right? Like that's how I learned my 6 tables, because 6 times 6 equals 36. There's a rhythm to that, and that's how I always do that math problem. So that's there too, and that can also work for your science information and your English data. And then visually, you can do anything from writing with chalk on your driveway what the information is, and then your parents come home and are like, "What is this? Wow, look at all you've learned." Or I like to write my notes in different colors, so I'll take notes in grad school or here at this conference, and I'll write in one color, and then when a new idea comes up, I'll change the color and write in a new one. And so it's visually appealing to me when I look at it, but also when I look back at my notes, my ideas are chunked for me right there, and it makes it easier for me to reassess them.
That's great. Thank you so much. So this is something that teachers can do in their classroom, parents can do at home, in order to give kids, first of all, a heads up on their own learning and processing styles, and also some fun, wacky ways to learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.